All right, we all good? Cool. So hi guys, meteorologist Crystal Clay here. If you just missed NBC 10 at 11 a.m., I built this guy right here, which is a solar projector. Now, you can't use this to stare right at the sun, but you're going to use this to project the sun's image into the bottom of your box, and you'll be able to see the eclipse, or at least the 75% coverage that we're going to see here in Philly. So I'm going to go through how to build this in case you missed it, and you're hoping in this last-ditch effort, it's noon, it's a couple hours, you're trying to do something, but you don't have the glasses. This is a good option. So what you need is a cereal box. You need some tape. You need tin foil, pretty small piece. You need a piece of paper. You need a pencil or a needle. I especially like a mechanical pencil because it's going to give you that really small little point. And then you need a pair of scissors. So if the kids are doing this at home, parent supervision, highly suggested here because of the scissors. So we got our materials here. The first thing you're going to do is trace the bottom of your cereal box. Of course, there's no cereal in this baby. It's all been poured out. So you're going to trace the bottom of your cereal box. You see that's about the size. All you got to do is kind of edge it up here and then draw with a piece of paper, pencil, or fold it on over to get your trace. Once you've got that, you can cut it on out, chop, 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 and you're going to have this little piece of paper. Now, originally, this cereal box was opened, so you're going to take that little piece of paper, just put a little bit of tape on the backs. Let's see, I'll show you what I did here. Just a few pieces. I put them in each of the four corners, just rolled that tape up, put it in each of the four corners, and then just slid this into my box, because remember before it was opened I've taped it shut. Slipped it into the bottom so that it sits nice and straight on the bottom of your box, and you're going to kind of push it down. Just reach your hand in the box, push it on down, flatten it out so that you've got paper that's covering the bottom. That's going to be the solar viewer panel. That'll be where you're actually looking at the projection of the sun. So once you've got that done, you're all good. You don't need the paper anymore because that's now, remember, taped into the bottom of your cereal box. Next thing you're going to do, snag the scissors, and you are going to cut two holes. One like you see here, and one actually right here on the cereal box. So this is the top of the box. Remember, you've got the paper taped on the bottom. This is the other side of the box you're cutting into. So you are cutting a little hole here. You're going to cut a second hole right here. Remember, at this point, this still goes like this as well. So it's pretty easy to chop the little panels off. And then the little side flappy panel that's usually right here in a cereal box, just cut that off too. So you're going to have two holes, one hole here, and you'd have one hole right here, okay? So now you've got paper taped to the bottom of one side, it's all sealed shut. You've got the open side, two holes are cut. Next, you're going to snag your piece of tin foil, and you're actually going to take that tin foil and cover one of the two holes you've cut. So it doesn't matter which one you cover, either way, but you just take it, and you're going to cover one of those holes, bend it on over, and then you're going to tape it down with your tape. So I've already done that. You can take a look. You see the tape is holding it down on all of the edges here, all the way around it. So this tin foil is totally covering this side. You don't want any light getting into this baby. You want it to be pitch dark once you put it up to your eye. So now you've got one hole still open, you've got one hole that you cut, and then covered in tin foil. So it pretty much should look like this once you get to that point. Probably gonna have to pause the video a couple times. Maybe you did this back in 5th grade. I remember making this way long ago. So you've got this now. You're going to take your needle or your mechanical pencil and gently, you don't want a big hole, you want just a little boop, little dot that you put in. So you might have to kind of slowly puncture it through, but can you see there? I don't know if the camera will even focus on, yeah? Tiny little pinhole that we've got. All right? So now you've made your pinhole, your projector is complete. Now how to use the projector is the question. So here, you can come with me and I'm going to kind of walk over this way. Behind me are these bright studio lights, all right? So this is a good way to practice. Go to a bright light in your house and you can practice with the box ahead of time to see how you kind of work this. Now you're not gonna look right at the bright light. Remember, you've got your viewer here where your eye's gonna go, and you've got the pinhole here. So you actually need to turn your back to the bright light, which will later be the sun. So if you use it this afternoon, the eclipse is happening back here, you're gonna turn your back to it, and you're gonna put this right up against your eye. So you can do this, there's your eye hole, and you're gonna boop, put it right against your eye. And then you just need to angle it, so I'm looking around right now, there you go. I am now looking right at all of these studio lights behind me. They're projecting into this box. So because we've got this little pinhole, the light is entering this pinhole, but it's only taking in a small amount of light. So the lights don't look nearly as bright as they do here. In fact, I wish I could show you this, but there's no way for it to really dig our camera in here. But when I look in here, I can see bars that are in these lights that you can't even really see with the naked eye because it's limiting the light viewing in. What that means is that when the solar eclipse is happening, even though here we're only at 75% of the sun obscured by the moon, you should, with this baby, be able to see that obscuring occurring. So it's a way for you to safely look at the sun, sort of. You're not exactly directly looking at the sun, but to look at that eclipse without damaging your eyes. Because remember, if you don't have those solar viewers, the glasses that were distributed at stores and libraries and places like that, then you can't look directly at the sun. Too dangerous for your eyes. Some cameras and cell phone cameras, too dangerous for those even. So this is a good, safe way to do it. It's fun for the kids too if you're worried about the kids taking off their glasses and checking out the sun directly. This is a nice way to do it. Plus it's kind of fun to build. You still have a couple hours. The peak viewing is at 2:44 here in Philadelphia, although the start time is 1:21, so we're coming up on that pretty soon. If anybody has any questions about what I did here or how to use it, I don't know if there's any questions on the Facebook Live.
There's just one so far, but what would happen if you don't do that or you don't have the glasses and you just look at the sun?
Well, if you do it for 2 seconds, most people, their natural reaction, as it is any day of the year, is, oh, ow. You don't want to look at the sun. That's totally dangerous. If you kept doing it, you can damage your eye, and that can lead to vision loss as you go through the day, or even we just had an interview on air, so the next day you might start to notice that vision loss. So that's dangerous. You don't want to do that. You either want to get your pair of the glasses, build something like this, or as far as I understand, we were just doing a story on NBC 10 at 11 that the Franklin Institute is going to have big solar filters that you can stand under and watch. So that would be another way to safely watch the eclipse today. Again, we're not in the path of totality. That's farther south. Those are the people that are going to see 100% eclipse, and those are the people that during 100%, meaning the moon completely obscures the sun, that they'll be able to take off their glasses for a second and it'll get kind of dark where they are, kind of like dusk in the middle of the day. But here that's not going to occur. We're still going to see some sunlight out there. We're at 75% coverage, and so this is the best way, something like this or those glasses, for you to be able to take a peek.
All right.
All
Thank you
good?
so much. Yeah.
Thanks, guys.